So today we're just going to do an acrylic full set on the toes. I'm starting with pushing back the cuticles and removing as much dead skin as I can. The next step after this would be to remove the shine from the natural nail and glue the tips on from free edge to free edge. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to record that part. So after that, we're just going to cut our tips. We're going to cut them to the client's desired length. So now we're going to pre-shape our tips. This is a very important step for me. Everyone does not do it, but I feel like if you pre-shape, your application is smoother and it's less filing in the end. So I'm just going to go in and give each tip a perfect square. now we're going to blend the tip to the natural nail. So when doing this, just remember not to file too much onto the natural nail for the client. You mostly want to focus on blending the tip. I do go over the natural nail just a bit to clean up any debris left on the cuticle or dead skin, and just make sure that there's no glue running onto the nail. Now I'm going to prep the nail with the non-acid pH bonder by Acrylic. This is my go-to. I feel like it works best for me. Next, we're going to prime the nail, and I am using Protein Bond by Young Nails, and we're going to go in twice with this. So we're going to prime each nail once, then we're going to go back in and prime each nail again. So today I'm actually going to use the Ideal Beauty Dip and Dap system. With them, it's kind of a hit or miss. This is the color Blazing Sun. This color marbled a lot throughout the process, so I'll show you guys the marbling points. So I actually had to go back in and kind of patch up the spots that marbled, which I don't usually like to do. So I probably won't be using this color too often. So we're going to lay our acrylic. I usually pick up about one bead. You don't want to place the bead right on the cuticle because it will go ahead and just flow in there. So I lay my bead, kind of pat it a little bit, and then I go ahead and move it towards the free edge. know typically when you're using a color powder or a pigment, you want to cap it with clear. I don't necessarily do that on the toes because it makes it thicker and it's not necessarily needed for every application. So I'm not going to cap this color. We're going to lay our acrylic powder and that's it. So our acrylic is laid and nice and dry. I'm going to go in and clean up the shape. As you can see, because we pre-shaped, there isn't much work. The tips already have that square shape, so I'm just going in to get them nice and crisp. Now that that's done, I'm going in with my e-file and I'm focusing on the cuticle area, making sure that it's nice and smooth for a nice grow out. You don't want it to lift, especially on the toes, because they're exposed to a lot of water. So you don't want any water getting under the nail. So we're just going to make sure that it's nice and flush. Now I'm taking my mini cube buffer and I'm just going to smooth out the nail, making sure that we don't have any lumps or bumps. You want to make sure you remove any dust from your filing. So now I'm going in with my D&D top coat and we're going to go ahead and apply.
I begin to
cure that top coat for about 40 seconds. And now we're going to go in with our cuticle oil. Now, when applying the cuticle oil, be sure not to let the brush or cap actually touch the client's toes. I did that here, so I went ahead and gave her the cuticle oil to use for future. You don't want to use it on any other clients now that you've touched it to the skin. So look at that shape. Yes, it's the shape for me. And